Hey people, Inquisitor 3v3 Faction War. This is Khatrin Purification Plant and the Imperial Guard versus Chaos Space Marines. For the Blue Guard team, it's VR with an Inquisitor offensive hero with powerful control abilities, begins in melee combat but can get specialized ranged weapons. We have the Khatrin's elite scheme alongside Alotar is a Lord General, fights in ranged combat, begins with a retinue of stormtroopers, can add to these guys throughout the game, giving him more abilities, very strong defense and support. We have the Vostroyan Firstborn, and rounding off the Blue Guard team is Fedaykin with a Lord Commissar, strong offense and support, fights in melee combat, begins with a refractor shield. Red Chaos team Kickin, rocking a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with some powerful battlefield manipulation. We got some Black Legion over here alongside two Plague Champions. First up is Belial with some Iron Warriors elite scheme, and Jeffers with the Death Guard elite scheme. These guys start off in ranged combat with a damage of a time bolter, can get melee weapons, some decent utility and support, can build turrets and repair, but are very slow. They just don't get along, guys, what can I tell you? Chaos and the Imperial Guard at it again. Doom bolts flying in, mostly protected by cover there. Chaos Space Marines already off the field. Where is Belial? There they are. Can these heretics make it in? They're taking shots from the Sentinel. They do get in, and there's a Doom Blast, and here comes another from those Iron Warriors heretics. Looks like it might turn here for Chaos pretty well. Sorcerer did a good job tying things up. Another Doom Bolts goes flying in. The CSM already getting their Eternal War upgrade, 20% more damage. You can tell by the plus icon and also the insignias around their weapons there. Tying up those poor guardsmen, and power armored elbows hurt, it turns out. That guy just straight up died. Sentinel does not have the ground pound. A chaotic opening on the western side, quite fitting. Still the Plague Champion and full health Chaos Space Marines in play. Lord Commissar comes in bravely with his shield up, and they're not super interested in fighting him at the moment. Trying to back up to some support. We've got some more Chaos Space Marines for Belial. Looks like their heretics dropped though as they retreated. Was shot down, I think, by the Sentinel chasing them. Lord General now back into some cover, getting some shots in. Lord Commissar is persuaded to leave. These CSM are getting dangerously close to dropping a model, but they're staying in play. Jeffers also with double Chaos Space Marines, still has their heretics though, and they have grenade launchers which can do this, knock you over, do quite a lot of damage as well, especially if you bunch up. Chaos Space Marines now closing for melee, since they'll easily win that fight against Guardsmen. Inquisitor getting stuck in though. Sentinel doesn't have the stomp, so they can do it without fear of getting knocked over and stunned and all that kind of thing. Heavy weapon squad for Alotar, also for Fedaykin. They'll come out with these heavy bolters by default to suppress and damage infantry. Khatrin's for VR. Noise Marines for Kickin. Belial does replace those heretics. A little bit slow to do so. I think maybe, yeah, they got Eternal War up on both of their CSM first. Sorcerer hanging out, waiting for the energy to get Doom Bolts going. Maybe they'll consume one of their heretics. There's the Noise Marines doing their thing. That Sonic Blaster will shut down ranged weaponry and ranged attacks like grenades and stuff. Does quite a decent amount of damage too. Everything just being suppressed. Are you gonna... oh, your Sigil of the Rift. I was gonna say, are you gonna get Vestments of the Warp to teleport in? Just got overrun there. Not sure what else they could have done. Maybe just backed off a bit sooner to wait for Belial. Double heavy weapon squads for Fedaykin. Here's the Khatrin Devils, ready to roll. Grenade launchers ready. No Eternal War over here. This should be a shot blocker. Why are you shooting them, Mr. Sentinel? You're cheating. Heretics are capping. Looks like Chaos are struggling to keep the momentum up right now. The Imperial Guard have such a strong early game. But here come a whole bunch of Chaos Space Marines. 4 of them to deal with. 2 of them have Eternal War. Some aspiring champion heretics too. Would like to see some more grenade launchers over here. Don't see any yet on this western side. Some Noise Marines for Jeffers and Raptors for Belial. Raptors great against a Lord General jump troops in general, great against the Lord General, but the Lord Commissar over there can counter-initiate with a tier 1 power weapon, so that could be dicey. Pushing the east side is VR. Might be able to get on the power here. Khatrin have taken some damage and lost the model, but they're alright, they're tough bastards. Lord Commissar trying to get some kills on those heretics with his auto pistol, I think. There's some Tzeentch worship setting up this little push here, targeting the heavy bolter so that it gets shut down by the Noise Marines, and that was a nasty doom bolts flying in there, you saw. Stomp gets it done. Things are still suppressed. Where are the Raptors? They are hanging out by the power. They've stopped moving. CSM do not drop a model. These guys are still in play. Noise Marines are off the field though. We now have Grenade Launcher, a Lord General with them. Some decent damage output, as you can see. Here's the Raptor jump. Uh-oh. Sigil of the Rift is there also. And teleports them back. A little bit of miscommunication there between Nurgle and Tzeentch is going to happen, isn't it? Fedaykin also gets another heavy weapon squad going. Didn't they already have one? Have two, rather. And they dropped it? I guess so. Wasn't even paying attention to that. Another Raptor jump, and this is going to switch up these tier 1 fights quite a lot. These guys can get in there, be aggressive, suppress stuff, allow the ranged fire of all those Chaos Space Marines to be brought to bear. Lost the VP over here. Any war gear? Aside from the sigil? Nope. We do have the crossbow bolt pistol. Those grenade launchers, of course. Lord Commissar does not have anything. Noise Marines pushed up really far from Jeffers. All the way from the eastern side. What the hell are you doing? Says Kickin. Good question. Plague Champion barely gets away. Maybe they can pick some models off these Khatrins here. They're quite low. There's that crossbow bolt pistol's crippling volley. Got rid of the Khatrins. Some more CSM coming in. Noise Marines, I guess, retreated. Yes, they did. Not sure what they were up to on that side. 489 356. Red team are holding the Western VP at the moment. But since they're Chaos, they're being aggressive, not sitting back. Noise Marines get tied up. Heretics tried to get in, but they're going to eat a stomp. It's going to be so tough for them to get in. I think they should have been given grenade launchers. Could be doing so much work. Lord Commissar now tying up Chaos Space Marines, and all of the heretics fell. Only the aspiring champion lives. Meanwhile, Belial now has to hold against potentially two armies. Sorcerer still messing around. 465 to 356. Here we see some grenade launchers from Belial. Well done. Tier 2 all around. VR had a Chimera on the way and cancelled it. We do see a Chimera now from Fedaykin. There's that Raptor jump. Plasma guns already in play from the guardsmen. Need a way to shut them down, and the Raptors help you do that. Get some Havocs up, I say. Can really throw off your opponent if you go tier 2 and get a tier 1 setup team. All of a sudden their plans can get messed right up. The Sentinel is close to going down here. Another good Raptor jump. They're trying to chase the Sentinel, I think, but it's too far away. Turn around, smack up these guys. They die nice and quick. Raptors have done great so far. Not great enough to hold the VP though. Double CSM now struggling to find cover over there. But Kickin is back to support. The heavy bolter, heavy weapon squad now has its shield which prevents knockdown, which is pretty damn useful for a setup team. Meanwhile, eastern side, Chaos has taken the contested power. Noise Marines doing some work. Look at this. Can't hit them all though, so some of them are still firing their plasma guns, and these guys are going to fall. Kept them in play too long, just lost sight of things. It's so easy in the midst of an engagement. I mean, it looks easy when you're watching it. It's like, why didn't they just retreat them earlier? Your mind is on so many things, so many little pieces of micro. That kind of thing comes with practice. Chaos Dreadnoughts then it is for Belial and Jeffers. 445 to 327. There's a Chimera for Fedaykin. Ogrins for VR. Alotar, nothing out in tier 2 yet. They've got tons of resources. Are they going straight tier 3 here? Maybe they are. State champion trying to hold the line, but I think power is under threat. We do have a Blast Master up now. They'll have anti-vehicle in the form of 2 dreadnoughts soon. Also, the Raptors can get a heavy melee weapon with their aspiring champion. There's a jump right into a stomp, but the power survives. The power does survive. Now they're eating plasma guns all over the place. Look at that damage on the Raptors. That is nasty. 445 to 284. The Imperial Guard keeping the pressure up. There's a Noxious Cloud and a Sigil to displace some poor guardsmen. Displace the heavy weapons squad as well. Noxious Cloud does catch some stuff in retreat. It's not quite as dangerous as it is in retail, I think, where it moves faster. Did those guys wipe? I don't think so. Meanwhile, Lord Commissar gets a cap on the wreck point, has stubbornness up. These guys just face tanking a heavy bolter, not going to work out too great for him. Taking damage from a flank, there's a Doom Bolts, and they retreat. Here we see a Chaos Dreadnought going for the Mark of Tzeentch, giving it a missile launcher. The other one is with the default autocannon, and Kickin's also default autocannon. We have 3 Chaos Dreadnoughts here. Sentinel has a missile launcher. Maybe we'll see a las cannon or autocannon. Tier 3 for Alotar is what we see. And the red team get back onto this victory point. Lots of damage on the Chimera. Needs some repairs and gets them. Good Blast Master hit. Just bits of guardsmen over there. They are going to reinforce 3 at a time though from Fedaykin because they have the Commissar and the Sergeant. Do you guys as well? Yeah, all up to 12 with plasma guns. Painful. The Inquisitor went down. Oh, and so did the Ogrins. All of them, really? How? The Dreadnought getting on them? Oh, Bloodletters as well. It's a big loss for VR. Now has some Stormtroopers. They're getting anti-armor kit to fight this Dreadnought. Gives them melter guns and a melter bomb. Got some Mark of Khorne Chaos Space Marines for Kickin. Double, in fact. He's really going for this melee build, isn't he? Those melee heretics as well. The Imperial Guard were pushed all the way back, but you're not capping, guys. They obviously think that there's things in the fog of war ready to attack them if they tried to cap, but there isn't. They can't see what we can see. Should have at least had a look, I think. Especially with some Tzeentch worship or something. Missile launcher shoots a bunch of boxes from the Sentinel there. Not sure what this Chimera from Fedaykin is up to. A big old flank, it looks like. Kill some heretics. Shots going in on the Chaos Dreadnought there. Tier 3 for Alotar, and a Leman Russ is on the way. Plague Marines for Belial. Red team are getting on the VP. We have the Xenos Power Claw up for the Lord Commissar. Ready to slice up some Chaos Space Marines perhaps. Here we go. Going in on the Mark of Khorne guys. More Mark of Khorne guys from Belial now. Do we have 4 Mark of Khorne CSM versus Imperial Guard? I think we do. That's pretty fun. Hey, if you can't outshoot the Imperial Guardsmen, just fight them in melee. Checks out. Dodges the stomp. Well done. Yeah, they're not going to like this. Plasma guns don't help you when a chain axe is chopping your head off. More Stormtroopers for VR. Everything reinforcing like crazy. Off the Chimera. Big old Blast Master shot. Kickin has a level 3 Noise Marine squad now. Look at this. There's that Leman Russ. Are we going to see an Executioner against all of these Mark of Khorne CSM? Makes sense. Chimera survives. Dreadnought is backing away, which is smart. Chimera does not survive. Chimera goes down. I think Plague Marine's got a shot off in there. Didn't even notice them sneak into that big mass of bodies. 404 to 215. After all of that, Sentinel gets a decap. I mean, it was a lot of pressure from Chaos. Did they kill enough stuff? Looks like Fedaykin spent a lot of requisition reinforcing stuff. Is now getting another Chimera. Tier 3 for Kickin, Tier 3 for... No, not for Jeffers. They're getting some late heretics up. For some worship support. Maybe a shrine over here. Oh wait, Jeffers is the other side. Dreadnought is fully healed up. They have some Noise Marines of their own. They're not pushing against the power right now. They've stolen a bunker, which is quite fun. Probably stinks now. And you'll never get that out. Bashing power now, the Guard. It's a very good counterattack. Maybe the Chaos players overextended a little bit. Really need to be careful with that, especially as you get into mid-late game. Can't be pushed back constantly and losing your ground. Raptors dropping a Aspiring Champion. Dark Flames in retreat path, I think wiped something out. Speaking of wiped out, Raptors fall. So many dead guardsmen for Fedaykin. Oh my goodness, they're down to just a Chimera. That was a horrific engagement. Tried to bash power. Should have got out of there way sooner. And there's not a whole lot you can do against the Dark Flames on retreat. But other things were caught in melee with CSM, which shouldn't really happen. Shouldn't really happen. Las Cannon up here for Alotar. Noxious Cloud gets rid of him though. And there's the Executioner doing its thing. Lots of damage against these CSM. That is pretty effective. Pretty effective. Level 3 Dreadnought backs away. 395, 182. Fedaykin lost a lot, but they've got quite a big VP lead. They still have the west side. Here comes Jeffers to try and change things. I think there's a little bit too much here for them to have an impact. Look at the damage on those CSM. You need to run away from as they fall. Jeffers loses some upgraded CSM there. This guy's getting too close to tanks and things. Dreadnought also needs to back away. Should be okay, I think. I don't think the Leman Russ is going to chase it. Look at this now. And we can see why Jeffers struggled to pull off that split. They are busy watching the mid, having grabbed this VP. Bloodletters, I think, are going to die on retreat. Yes, they do. So losses on both sides. More for Fedaykin, obviously. But those were fully upgraded guardsmen that they lost. Everything's inside this Chimera right now. Tier 3 for VR, who's also lost quite a lot from Jeffers' pushes. Guardsmen and double Stormtroopers. Inquisitor herself is still down over here. Now it's the Imperial Guard's turn to harass the VP. Ogrin's getting on a snared Dreadnought thanks to the Melter Bomb. It's going to go down, I think. Ogrin's will tear it apart without that melee resist. Down it goes. Frenzied Barrage suppresses the Ogrin's. The Power Claw going after the Dreadnought and takes it out. Big chunks of damage. Ogrin's, wow, getting chopped up by those chain axes, which are power melee weapons. They do get away though. 365 to 163. Hell Fury dropped in. Didn't really do a whole lot, I don't think. Red team are taking the Western VP, by the way. Is that a bunker or a Leman Russ? It's a Leman Russ. 3 Leman Russes for Alotar. They know how to Imperial Guard. Fedaykin, struggling at the moment, has a single Ogrin. And getting some more Ogrins, apparently. Leman Russes holding the line for the Imperial Guard right now. But how long can they do it for? Need to invest in some serious anti-vehicle, red team, like las cannons and things. They have a couple of Plague Marines. Still have Kickin's Dreadnought, which has the Marco Tzeentch too. That's pretty scary. I'm not sure what these Chaos Space Marines intend to do now. To soak up some fire, maybe. Noise Marines getting flanked, which is pretty bad for them. Don't see a grenade. Those guys, I don't think, have energy to throw a grenade right now. We see the Plague Fist for Jeffers. Also the Armor of Pestilence. Another Leman Russ, this time from VR. 4 of them on the field. Need some anti-vehicle fellas. Kickin, getting some Plague Marines up. 365 to 163, still a considerable 200 VP lead for the blue team. They're about to get a 2-1 hit. Inquisitor still down. She can do a lot of work late game with Purgatus and that kind of stuff. Mandate helps her cap too. Bashed power over there. Jeffers had a strong end. I say strong end to tier 2. They haven't actually gone to tier 3 yet. But they pushed through pretty well, overextended a little bit and have lost some stuff. But hey, so has Fedaykin, so it's kind of evened out the game here. Plague Champion trying in vain to smack a tank. Good luck. Don't typically get his Power Fist to actually fight vehicles because he's so slow. But the Pestilent Strike is really good. And he can counter-initiate quite well with it. 365 to 131. Big old firefight going on, and the Imperial Guard are pretty good at those. When they have tanks for days. Chaos Space Marines, though, doing a good job against Ogryns. It's another bad fight for these Ogryns here. Some disruption, though. And now, triple Execution Leman Russ support. Pretty effective way at mulching CSM. Yeah, they really need to invest in anti-vehicle. A Land Raider Phobos is on the way. More Plague Marines for Jeffers. Dreadnought needs to turn around. Need to warp it out or something. Nope, goes down. Oh, was chasing this guy and gets it. VR also lost their Leman Russ. Not sure where that was lost. Meanwhile, Plague Marines trying to retake the VP here. Almost some friendly fire on those heretics. Where was VR's Leman Russ? Chaos still have that contested power. I don't see the remains of a Leman Russ anywhere. That's a Dreadnought. That's a Dreadnought as well. But it was lost somewhere. That's Alotar's Leman Russ. Okay. There's the Land Raider Phobos with twin-linked las cannons on the side sponsons. Twin-linked heavy bolter on top and a twin-linked bolter. Storm bolter. Combi bolter. Whatever that thing is. I don't think you call it a storm bolter when it's chaos. Space Marines are funny like that. Land Raider Phobos on the way now for Kickin. Here's another Leman Russ, the 5th one, I think. That's from VR. Lord General getting the Medical Sergeant. Gives out Medipacks. These guys trying to 1v1 a Leman Russ. Blastmaster gets a decent shot. This is going to be an important engagement, I think. Ogren's going in on the Phobos, but there's so much there to counter-initiate them. Touch of Nurgle goes up on some Chaos Space Marines a little bit early there. They weren't actually taking damage. Well, Commissar seems to be going after them. Bunker goes down. Phobos taking a lot of damage from the Ogryns. Ogryns got shredded though. Did they wipe them all? I think they might have wiped them all. We'll see the roster in a moment. Epic stuff. Blue team hold the west side for now. There's Chaos Space Marines in the distance chasing that Leman Russ. Can they finish it off? Their aspiring champions do have melter pistols. They did it. Well done, lads. The Land Raider Phobos did not survive though. Anti-armor stormtroopers came in, I think. Right, what the hell happened? Fedaykin still has an Ogryn squad. It was Belial's Phobos that went down. Here is Kickin's. Maybe they'll be a bit more careful with it. It's a great fight though. Here are some new Raptors for Belial. Could be a shrewd choice. One way you can shut down the Imperial Guard war machine is to take away all of their crazy repairs, which means killing guardsmen. Here's the Plague Champion. He's got the Mucus Discharge for Jeffers now. Those guys are going to die from the Abyss. I assume this was Jeffers' Abyss, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe that was Belial's. Meanwhile, Chaos team have lost their natural and they're down to 55 VPs here. I mean, they're looking quite strong. Look how weakened the Imperial Guard are, but good look after your VPs, lads. Look at the bodies still bleeding over here. I did not expect the mass of Mark of Khorne Chaos Space Marines to do so well. Are they all level 4? They are. They've killed so much stuff and taken so much damage. Got some Chaos Terminators now for Jeffers. They look pretty awesome with the Death Guard Elite scheme. $361 to 39. It's going to be a 2-to-1 for Chaos, and I don't know if the Imperial Guard can hit back here. It's going to be so tough. Auto cannon up for these fellas. The Ogrins of Fedaykin I just don't think have paid off at all. I mean, they've got in, they've done some work, but they've taken so much damage and have to reinforce so many times. They haven't been as vicious and deadly as the CSM have been. And of course, you don't need to pay power to reinforce Chaos Space Marines, which is a big deal. Really wants those double Ogrins though. We have Bionic Eye up for the Lord Commissar. Massive buffs from his execution now. Do you really want to execute an Ogrin when you can't? You don't have a Chimera nearby though. Baneblade on the way for Alotar. Leman Russ on the way for VR, but it's looking grim. I mean, they have tons of VPs to try and claw it back. They have time, but is it enough time? They have 2 rocket runs they could use as well. It's not over. The Chaos players are kind of blobbing up with the CSM. It's really hard not to when you have multiple melee units. Meanwhile, some casual power bashing. Late game from VR. These fellas are just hanging out at base. The Inquisitor, though, back to her feet. No sign of Purgatus or anything. It's a great late game war gear. Nurgle Shrine would be good, says Kickin. I agree. Where's your Nurgle Shrines? Are these fellas going to do one? No. I'm not sure what they're up to. I mean, not a whole lot blue team can do there. Looks like they're waiting for the Baneblade right now. Can't really push against this effectively. Raptors kicking it off though. Ogrin is there to counter initiate. Now come the CSM. Inquisitor doing her best to control things. Dropped Hammer of the Witches on the Plague Champion. There's a rocket run. It's a decent one. CSM get away with their lives. Blastmaster's friendly fire there. And there's a Baneblade. Baneblade will easily take out a Phobos, but there's so much more stuff around. Looks like a Vanquish of Leman Russ as well. From VR, Alotar has another execution of Leman Russ. More Stormtroopers for Fedaykin now. Given up on his plan for double Ogrins. They've lost so many at the moment. 269 to 39. Do they bother going for this VP hard? I don't think they need to. Phobos isn't in the right position to shoot all of its las cannons over there, I don't think. It needs to turn a little bit. Can't shoot through itself. Uh-oh. This Leman Russ got into a very bad position. Those are autocannon terminators. And they don't even need to fire another burst because the Plague Marine's got it done. Looking dire for the Imperial Guard. Somehow, though, they got a decap. Sneaky Stormtroopers, I guess. They need to put something here to make sure that doesn't happen. Inquisitor gets up and instantly eats a Blastmaster to the face. More Leman Russes. I just don't think it's going to be enough. There's too much. It's like critical mass now for Chaos. They need to hit some very good nukes or something. Marco Tzeentch for these fellas, for Jeffers. 2 Chaos Terminator squads, both with autocannons. It was like Kickin lost one of their Chaos Space Marines, their leveled up Chaos Space Marines. Level 2 Ogrins, a whole bunch of Stormtroopers for Fedaykin. All with anti-armor, well, 2 of them are anti-armor kits. I thought he was going for a mass of assault kits for big burst damage, trying to shoot down the CSM. But I guess he wants that Phobos. There's a Shrine of Nurgle. Periodically heals your stuff, also suppresses enemies. And if you worship it, it will heal more often and you can reinforce off it. It's a pretty damn good shrine. More guardsmen on the way for VR to help repair and stuff, I suppose. Another Leman Russ. They have loads of them. This guy with a Vanquisher over here for Alotar now. 215 to 39. Holy crap. Inquisitor had a bad day. Have a look at this VP. They are having a good look. Fedaykin does have triple anti-armor stormtroopers. Doesn't seem like there's a detector around. These guys don't have an aspiring champion. Oh, these guys do. But look at the amount of damage that goes in so fast on that Leman Russ, down to 17 hit points in a flash. Ogrins are going to take the brunt of it, are they? Nope. Not even they want to. All these things are hidden by the Tzeentch worship. Well, Commissar gets in. That's a Basilisk Flare. The Phobos is going to be dealt with, I think. Just ate a bunch of Melter Bombs. Hits the Dirge Caster. But they're going to get it down. There's a Noxious Cloud now. Crazy scenes at the end on this VP. And in the mid, stuff is dying. Don't think the Imperial Guard can push this. They got the Phobos down really fast. But there's so much more stuff. So much more stuff. They're not going after that VP though. Baneblade now being pressured. Even the Plague Champion's getting hits in. It's being snared by the Plague Marines. Shot up by the Chaos Terminators as well. 159 to 39. Another Land Raider on the way for Belial. TSM need to run. Mines get dropped. Baneblade goes down. You get 120 red for that. Pretty good. Plague Marines are going to fall if they're not careful. Looks like they're going to be okay. Level 4 Plague Marines there. 143 to 39. Is this a sneaky Inquisitor going for the VP? I think it is. There's stuff there though. Plague Champions there. We've got Havocs there. Level 3 Plague Champion with no war gear for Belial. Poor bastard. No favour from Nurgle. Another push. Not a very big one. They're trying to make something happen. Can his Brave Guardsman get a decap? Inquisitor could not make it work over here. Mech an autocannon and it didn't go well. Look at that. Decap from the Lord General. Here's me saying there's no way they can push, but they got all the CSM out of there for a while. And they get maybe a cap with it. This would be amazing. A heavy turret dropped in by Alotar. Here comes the massive CSM. Raptors also in there. Took down the Lord General, but they did get that decap. Look at the heals now on this Lord Commissar from the Stubbornness. It's pretty outrageous healing. Pretty outrageous. Is there a more sustainable melee hero than this guy when he's got Stubbornness up and surrounded by stuff? He also has a shield, remember? Look at that heal. It's crazy. So every 3 seconds when he has enough people around him. 117 to 39. That's a nasty Noxious Cloud though. All of a sudden, Lord Commissar doesn't have any friends around to trigger the Stubbornness. 2 to 1 for Chaos still. They got the VP back. It was a brave effort at the end there. Brave effort. They did steal the power. Manticore on the way for Alotar. Nope, cancels it. Khatrin on the way for Fedaykin. Could drop a rocket run too. It is a Manticore for Alotar. Here's the third Phobos? Fourth? Something like that. I think it's the third. Manticore also for VR. Kickin just has tons of resources. I don't think they have the pop to get a Great Unclean one. I think they're 21. And they only have 20. Kickin advising vigilance on this natural VP here. Guardsman might try and have a look at it. There's a Noble Shrine. Another one. 78 to 39. Do they have anything left, these guardsmen? They've been through a lot. They've seen some stuff. Plague Champion of Jeffers. Backing away from fire. Belial still has no war gear. I mean, they're having a go. They're doing the right thing. VR. Coming in from a funny angle, trying to get on the VP. It's going to be so tough. There's a rocket run, I think. It is. Pretty good one, too. Takes out some CSM. Those were Jeffers, I believe. 53-39. It's so close. Chaos have held on, but can they hold on forever? You have the Rod of Warp Fire at level 10. Chaos Sorcerer has done some work for sure. Vestments of the Warp and Tome of Subjugation. Chasing off a Living Rust by himself. Phobos almost one-shotted that Manticore. Blue team just don't have any breath left in their lungs, I don't think. They're giving it such a good go. Can these guys get a decap? I don't think so. No, no way. Blastmaster is there. In fact, there's a Blastmaster. Both sides of them, for some reason. 24 to 39. Still the 2-1 for Chaos. They have held on well. Very well. Kickin was so strong on that side. And that mass of Chaos Space Marines, which is... I mean, it's still 3 of the 4 alive. They have been awesome. Absolutely awesome. It's one way to stop a whole bunch of plasma guns wrecking your army is to run at them with very, very scary melee troops. If there's enough of them, they can't shoot them all down. Those Chaos Terminators just died. 4 to 39. We're going to see Chaos hold on for a big victory here. There it is. A level 3 Inquisitor. She was down for a lot of the game. I wonder what kind of difference that would have made if she wasn't down for so long. Could have got Purgatus up, got some more levels and stuff. Lord General was level 8. Level 9 Lord Commissar did well. Got plenty of kills and led plenty of pushes with that Xenos Power Claw. Level 10 Sorcerer for Kickin. So many Doombolt deaths. Didn't see the Tome of Subjugation used, but I'm sure it was. Level 3 Plague Champion, no war gear. Poor bastard. And Jeffers with a level 7 Plague Champion. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Big thanks to these players for taking part. And of course, Impregnable, the man with the plan, for hosting things. And I'll see you next time.